Over the last 48 hours, I have heard the Lord speaking about His ways and new paths that are before many right now. I heard the Lord say, "There's a new path before you, don't deviate from it, for this pathway leads to houses of my glory." What I began to see in this vision was a commissioning and revealing of the Lord of the new path before many, but it was a path that required greater focus and diligence than ever before. On the sideline of these pathways were many things that were attempting to distract these ones from walking down these new paths. I could see the expectation of man. I could see the crowd is going in a different direction. I could see doubt. I could see fear. I could see insecurity. I could see grief, pain, weariness and trauma. From the season that they have walked, I could see the fear of man. I could see the past season and the lure to hold onto it. I could see the fear of change and other things. All of these things were attempting to take the focus of these ones, and to walk down this new path it required ferocious focus and obedience to the Lord. It was a silencing of all other voices. It was a determination to look to Jesus alone and follow where He was leading, despite the way others were going, or what others would think or say. What I noticed was to step onto this new path was a deeper dying taking place. As I looked closer, the entry point to this new pathway was a threshing floor. To cross onto this new path, before them there was an entering into the threshing floor in a deeper way. There was a wrestle taking place, as Psalm 32:8-10 filled the atmosphere. I hear the Lord saying, "I will stay close to you, instructing and guiding you along the pathway for your life. I will advise you along the way, and lead you forth with my eyes as your guide. So don't make it difficult. Don't be stubborn when I take you where you have not been before. Don't make me tug you and pull you along. Just come with me." TPT. Even though there was the sound of the dying to many things, the old season, running with certain people, doing things a certain way, dying to the fear of missing out, the dying to what will others think, all of these different areas where there was a dying that was taking place, I could hear the sound of life louder than I have heard it in a long time. Even though in the transition and the wrestle there was a confrontation happening with the soul, with flesh, with the enemy and even hard conversations with some people that was required, the excitement in my spirit was one that I could hardly contain. The excitement was this. I knew that going down this path, following in complete obedience, even when in the natural for some it looks opposite, and against the grain, it is the leading of the Holy Spirit, and it is leading to partnering with Him to house His glory and establish houses of His glory all across the earth. What I began to see was as these ones were lying on the threshing floor, they were then arising in such a deep dependence and surrender to His way and His leading. It reminded me of the strength of the Shulamite that came out of the wilderness leaning upon her beloved, Songs of Solomon 8:5. Following these new pathways in obedience to the Lord, cleaving to His way, is positioning you to partner with Him in not only a revealing of His glory in your midst, but a movement of His glory that is far bigger than you have even imagined or dreamed. I watched as these ones entered that threshing floor place, that felt so much like a deep wilderness, and their yes was loud. They arose out of that threshing place with a yes that was loud. As their yes partnered with the yes of the Father, I saw a movement being birthed. It was a domino effect, a momentum that was so significant, the ripple effect of spaces being made within families, in communities, in cities and nations were beginning to be birthed from such a pure and hidden place. It was truly the birthing of a movement that came from a surrendered yes in a heart of purity, that said yes to the Father for no other reason than to follow Him where He's leading and to walk in His way. The Lord began to show me that the acceleration and multiplication that will take place through the yes of these surrendered ones will not be contained. It could never be manufactured, it could never be created. It is a wave of His Spirit that is flowing from the throne, that is being caught by the pure in heart that are burning with first love fire, and are willing to count the cost to follow Him whatever it looks like. The threshing floor place has been so intense for so many, and for many it has felt like the most intense moment of relentless opposition, but also the refiner's fire to purify and prepare. But now his glory that shall be seen and revealed will bring a joy that they have not experienced before in partnering with the Spirit of God to see his kingdom extended. The yes was costly. The yes was a high price, but the yes, even though painful, was given in joyful surrender to him, out of adoration and love for their beloved. These ones found it great joy to obey the Lord and to partner with him in the hidden place. If no one ever knew what they were doing with the Lord and the ways they were extending his kingdom, it didn't matter. There was no self-promotion within them, there was no fear of missing out, there was no need to plaster it all over social media or scream it from the rooftops so everyone could know how God was using them. They were living in such deep humility and love for Jesus. The purity of heart within them was to give all glory to him, and live deeply before the audience of one. They have been through many tests and trials, and come out as pure gold. Now as they arise out of the threshing floor into this new season and path before them, they were being entrusted with more than they have ever carried and more than they have ever walked in or seen. I began to see the word yes change to the word eyes, and the Lord spoke. They have given me their yes, and they are receiving divine sight, and insight into what I am doing and going to do in the earth in the deepest way they have ever experienced. I am going to fill the vats of their life with revelation to steward and partner with my Spirit in what I will do in the days ahead, in such clarity and wisdom. These ones are rising now into the new pathway before them. Friends, I encourage you, continue to give yourself wholly and wholeheartedly to the path the Lord is leading you down. Don't be distracted by what's on the sideline. Follow the shepherd, follow the lion where he is leading. He will guide, provide, and sustain. He is leading you down a path to partner with him in the new things he is doing, to see a move of his glory, and to house his glory in ways you cannot even imagine right now. Your yes to the Lord is positioning you to know his heart, his voice, and his glory in the greatest acceleration and momentum than you have known. There's no need to fear, he is with you and has gone before you. Continue to seek his wisdom and obey his instruction as you walk down this path. Remain tender in the place of sensitivity before him to lead you and guide you in his wisdom. James 1:5. You are not missing out if you are going in the opposite direction to the crowd. Stay in your lane. Stay on the path he is leading you down. You're moving into a season of experiencing the weight and manifestation of his glory in unprecedented ways.